seniors being honored today, and the Arizona Wildcats in their third season under Rich Rodriguez playing their most significant game under his tutelage. Not only does this game matter in the state of Arizona, the Pac-12 South, but perhaps the country. Trying to get to 10 wins, possibly to Fiesta Bowl, maybe even more. As Arizona meets Arizona State, we are live here on Fox. This Arizona team gets it done with a stingy defense, bringing back echoes from Desert Swarm and a high-octane run offense under Rodriguez. Their counterparts from Arizona State rely heavily on a multifaceted offense with running backs that can both run it as well as catch it, and a high-risk, high-reward defense. It's number 11 against number 13 with a Pac-12 South championship possibly at stake. Todd Graham made his way from Tulsa to Pittsburgh, and now in his third season, he brings back the Frank Kush look to Tucson. What a joy it is for us to spend our Thanksgiving holiday with you. Hello, everyone. Tim Brando. By my side, Joel Klatt. Simply put, the outcome of this game impacts throughout the rest of the season.
Here's what I love about this game is that both of these programs and both of these coaches make no bones about it. There's no cliches about the next game being the most important. They say for 365 days a year that this game is the biggest on their schedule. The next 3 hours are going to be something very special.
600 miles west of here, they care deeply about the outcome. Inside this stadium, no one will know that's playing, but we'll keep you abreast if you're watching. Arizona, Arizona State, the kick is next. Filled to capacity, over 56,000 as you look at the impact of this one as to the Pac-12 South, one of the toughest divisions in all of college football. And earlier, Jenny Tapp spoke with Todd Graham.
Coach, you told us earlier this week how important this game was, maybe the most important of the year. How are you going to come away with the win today?
Oh, well, it's the most important game every year to our fans and to our fan base. This is it. Doesn't get any bigger than this. And how we're going to win today is play Sun Devil football. That means class, character, and toughness, and stay together, figure out somehow, some way to win. Obviously, two very, very good football teams playing for their 10th win, and I believe for the Pac-12 South Championship. So it'll be a great one.
Thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
All right, go Devils.
Coach Graham and Coach Rodriguez were hired back in 2012. This is the third time they've met in this Territorial Cup showdown. Coach Graham currently has the upper hand with ASU winning the last two.
3 of the last 4, in fact. Thank you, Jenny. Rich Rod, well aware of that stat. Casey Scourin will boot it away. ASU won the toss, elected to receive. DeAndre Lewis is back deep. All the way through the end zone for a touchback. And what are the 3 things that we need to know, Joel Klatt, when Arizona State has the football?
First is DJ Foster. He's the catalyst to the offense. Very versatile player, line up as a wide receiver and a running back. He's a terrific talent. Second is they start fast and they finish even faster. They've outscored their opponents 96-44 in the first quarter. And Scooby Wright on the defensive side, one of the best players in the country. Excellent instincts and football IQ. He's going to have to play very big today against DJ Foster in this Sun Devils offense.
The freshman, Demario Richard, dots the I, trips to the top of your screen. That's Cam Smith wide to the top of your screen. And it's Richard that takes it first, and he's nailed at the point of attack. Taylor Kelly missed 3 games earlier this year, has a pin in his right foot. You see the touchdown to interception ratio.
He's just such a leader for this team. They knew they had to go back to him. Mike Berkovici played great in those 3 games, but this is Taylor Kelly's team.
They set a gain of a yard, so it's 2nd down and 9. Play fake to Richard. And off the rollout action, well defended by guess who's? Defensively, DJ Foster, the intended receiver.
Jared Tevis there in coverage, number 38. Tevis, a walk-on, a safety, And here comes the crowd on third down.
Tevis has 100 tackles, second only to Scooby Wright.
3rd and 9.
They don't have a lot of third down chances, Arizona State. The conversion rate, as illustrated, not the best. Strong was in motion. Kelly, backside pressure, it's on the ground. Picked up by Arizona, all the way to the house. It's a touchdown. Anthony Lopez, the safety, comes out with it. It was Scooby Wright with some Scooby snacks to slap it away. Scouring with the extra point. 25 yards will call the fumble, recovery, and touchdown. And this is an Arizona team that has turned over the opposition 11 times in the last 3 games, and they open today's Territorial Cup matchup, the 88th renewal, with this. You gotta feel it. Scooby's always around. 7-0. 7-0 Arizona as a third-string safety. Anthony Lopez scoops up a Scooby Wright forced fumble and takes it to the house. DeAndre Lewis and Middlebrooks back deep, and again this one will sail all the way through the end zone for the touchback. And Joel, let's get our K Jewelers keys to the game.
Well, one would be don't allow a defensive touchdown in the first series, but we'll start with Arizona State. They got to get Jalen Strong involved early in this game. He did not play last week against Washington State with concussion symptoms. He's a terrific talent and an explosive player. For Arizona, it's the health of their quarterback, Anu Solomon. He's going to go with that strained arch in his right foot, but we'll see how dynamic he is outside of the pocket.
Foster and Richard in the backfield. And on the read, Taylor Kelly keeps it and gets out ahead to the 30-yard line for a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5 coming up.
What an important series for Taylor Kelly and the Sun Devils here, just to calm themselves down.
Well, let's see if Arizona State can get out of that twilight zone they're in. Richard on the stretch play, trying to cut it back. Reggie Gilbert, 84. Makes the tackle, the senior. Fairfax High School, Levine, Arizona.
This is when you need Jalen Strong. He's their best player on the outside. He's 6'3". He's a physical mismatch against Arizona's corners, and 74% of his catches have gone for first downs or touchdowns. They need to look to number 21.
DeAndre Lewis is checked in the backfield. Foster, of course, an outstanding receiver on checkdowns. They give it to Lewis. Crossed up Arizona. Down the sideline and past midfield for a first down.
Gutsy call from Mike Norvell. Watch as they're going to pull the offensive line around the edge. And it's great patience from the running back. Richard, just a freshman. Or excuse me.
Foster. Short, choppy steps. He has tremendous vision, and no one's better at coming out of the backfield and catching passes and beating you both from the air as well as on the ground.
I love versatile players, and that's what today's game is all about, both defensively and offensively. And DJ Foster, the only man in America with 900 yards rushing and 500 yards receiving in this season.
For the corner and Strong, incomplete, down around the 2-yard line. Well covered. William Parks was with him.
Parks is another one of those versatile style safeties, just like Jermaine Bondurant. But after getting great field position now, Arizona State up against it on a third down. They've run it on the last 2 third downs. We'll see what Mike Norvell dials up here.
Strong back shoulder throw. He's got it. Inside the 5, near the pylon. They'll say he stepped out at the 3. Symptoms from a concussion in the Oregon State game kept him out a week ago. Boy, are they happy to have him back.
Yeah, I told you earlier that 74% of his catches have gone for first downs or touchdowns. He is such a mismatch on the outside, and Taylor Kelly throws that back shoulder fade as well as anybody in the game, and you can tell why it's such an advantage having that big 6'3" receiver on the outside.
21 yards on the gain, 1st and goal. Richard the setback in motion. Kelly runs towards the boundary. Up and over and very close. They'll say inside the 1-yard line. Reggie Gilbert tripped him up. 84. It's where the ball is, and the ball was in that left arm, a little shy. Foster comes back into the game as the setback. He'll take it. Boy, he runs right into a stone wall in red. Ball pops free late, but the whistle had blown.
There was nowhere to go in the middle of that defense. Tevis was the man coming out of the pile with the ball, but forward progress had been ruled down.
DJ Foster remains the setback.
And the exchange is always difficult inside the 5-yard line anyways. Back up center in the ball game. Let's see how he and Taylor Kelly do here.
Kelly keeps it. I don't think so.
I don't think he got it.
Arizona's defense just got underneath, which is what you're taught to do in goal line circumstances.
I think that play call was derived from the fact that McCray was in the game and it was inside the 1-yard line. The easiest way to make sure that center quarterback exchange is to call a quarterback sneak. Kelly unable to get into the end zone here, and they're going to go for it
well, you know,
on 4th down.
Get the ball after a 25-yard punt in that position, 28 yards away. You want to take advantage of it. Here's Foster again, dotting the I. He'll take it, and he's stuffed behind the line. The Wildcats get it done and do wake up the echoes of the Desert Swarm. Parker Zellers, 93, the nose, got his nose up and under.
Low man wins. Arizona was lower than Arizona State.
Tim Brando, Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft here in Tucson, Arizona at Arizona Stadium. Sun Devils were stoned after a 1st and goal from the 3. And the Wildcats take over. Nick Wilson. And there hasn't been much against that interior wall of Arizona State's defense either so far today.
This is a perfect time as a quarterback to change up the snap count and use a hard cadence, try to get 5 free extra yards.
Solomon's pass is airmailed, intended for Devontae Neal. It's amazing how this season road teams have done so well in the Pac-12, but they have. On this out pattern, Austin Hill has it. That's good for a 1st down.
I mean, what an important game that is. If Stanford is able to beat the Bruins, then this game here is for the South Division Championship, and the winner will be heading to Santa Clara for the Pac-12 Championship next Friday night right here on Fox.
Loose ball, Solomon lost it again. It's recovered and taken in for the touchdown, Demetrius Cherry. Mix up there with Solomon and Wilson. Ball popped free. Anu tried to get on top, but Cherry was right there to pick it up. And he's another one of those guys that were part of that changes made defensively by Todd Graham.
It was just the exchange, and they were trying to move the launch point. Wilson was heading over to the right side. That's always on the quarterback. The running back always has to have his eyes forward so that he can see the blocking holes that the offensive line is providing, and the quarterback's responsibility is to get that exchange off cleanly. Solomon puts it on the ground, and now 2 defensive scores in this ball game. 1 for each team. What a start.
Great presence of mind by Cherry to pick it up. Those meat cleaver hands of his are pretty good. A lot of guys would have just jumped on top of it. We're tied. 7-7 our score with just under 6 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. As you see Solomon and Wilson consoling one another after the turnover that led to the touchdown. In fact, it was the touchdown. Demetrius Cherry taking it in. 2 high-powered offenses we talked about, right?
Yeah, but you know, it's exactly as I was explaining to him. The pressure, the enormity of a game like this, the emotions, it's always more difficult for the offense to execute. And now we've seen both quarterbacks, one a senior, one a freshman, put the ball on the turf today, and it wound up in the end zone for the opposition. These guys have got to settle down. It's quite an art to get your heart rate to settle itself down, take a deep breath, and get into the details of the system.
Alex Garut will boot it away all the way through the end zone. Wilson pops it ahead to the 32-yard line. Longino able to come back from the nicks and bumps of a couple of plays ago to make the stop. It's 2nd down and 2. There's a little run pass look that Solomon loves to run in this offense. Devontae Neal on the receiving end, but a loss there. Mokiola 28 the stop.
And each offense runs it, so these defensive players so adept. They see it all spring, they see it all fall camp, and these defensive backs reading this out beautifully.
3rd and 4. On the slant. Samaji Grant. The slant to Grant. And oh, does it pay off? Touchdown. If you're gonna jump a route, you better be able to make the play. Arizona State thought they were going to get a pick, and when they didn't, they gave up 6. 69 yards, the sophomore from Compton, California. 14-7 our score. Demarius Randall, outstanding defender, has meant a lot to this Arizona State team. As defensive coordinator Keith Patterson would tell you, he was looking at jumping that pattern and getting a pick. He missed it by that much, and that much led to a 69-yard touchdown for Grant. The boot is to Lewis, and again, he won't be able to bring it out.
Well, let's take a look at it, Tim, because Randall is coming up, and this is another pressure. Here's Randall, and they're going to be trying to pressure right here. He thinks he's got a beat on where this ball is going because Solomon never looked him off, but as he took off for the bat down there, the pass batted down. When you don't get it and you're in cover 0 man-to-man, there's no help behind you. And Grant with the nifty turn back gets it all the way into the end zone.
Receivers with running back capability and beyond. I mean, you see it in all of these offenses. At Oregon, at Auburn, you name it. And Rich Rod invented it. DJ Foster, the lone setback with Taylor Kelly. Out to the 30-yard line. A remarkable quarter. These 2 high-octane offensive teams have shown flashes, but the defenses won the day by scoring 14 of the 21 points thus far. Territorial Cup at stake. As we open the second quarter, Arizona with the lead 14-7. Joel Klatt alongside Tim Brando. There is no denying the emotions of this matchup. A very underrated national rivalry between these two teams.
And what I love about it is that you're sensing the urgency from both teams, understanding the importance of this ball game, and they're playing at a high level defensively, and you're starting to get the sense that the offenses are settling down now and getting into the rhythm of this Territorial Cup.
Foster takes it ahead for a couple as you look at our game summary. Well, look at the rushing yardage, and Arizona at -24. Of course, quarterback sacks in the collegiate game add to the rushing totals, which skews that to some extent. But they've been stoned by Arizona State up front. Here's Foster. That rollout pass a little low for Demarie Nelson. William Parks made the stop, and let's go downstairs to Jenny Taft.
Two different looks on the sideline when it comes to both quarterbacks. When it comes to Taylor Kelly, he's been extremely active on the sideline, constantly warming up. He's been talking to Foster. Looks like he's trying to get his team going. When it comes to Anu Solomon, he's been sitting on the bench. He's talked to Coach Rodriguez. Coach Rodriguez said he doesn't expect the freshman to be affected by the importance of this game, still yet to be seen.
Anu Solomon is a cool customer. He's nicknamed Mr. Chill by Rich Rod. Foster will take the handoff and tries to bounce it outside on the first down play.
And guess who was there?
Yeah.
Scooby Wright, number 33. 126 tackles coming into the game. In the first quarter alone, he had 5 tackles. He'll be credited with at least a half a tackle there.
3 solos and a couple for losses in that first quarter,
including a forced fumble that wound up in the end zone. So he's making his presence felt in this ball game and has made it really difficult on Arizona State to establish their run game with DJ Foster.
Foster and Lewis now flank Kelly. Kelly with time, going for the home run pitch and catch again. This one is reeled in. Jalen Strong has got it.
That one was almost overthrown like the first as Strong heads to the sidelines. That right arm down by his side. What an effort from Jalen Strong.
Well, it's all out. Absolutely all out.
Wow.
50 yards the hookup, and they're tending to him on the sidelines now. There's that quick package again to Frederick Gamage. He's ahead for about 4.
Let's go back to that throw, and he again beats Jonathan McKnight, number 6. McKnight, a senior from River Ridge, Louisiana.
Wait, he acted as if he thought he had help.
I think he expected it. You're absolutely right. Jordan Grandin was a safety over there, number 26.
Called it a gain of 5, so second down and 5. Straight design run for Kelly. Taylor Kelly down to the 3.
Anytime the quarterback runs, you're going to be able to block everybody in the defensive front. That's just how the math works out. The designed run, they pull a guard, get a couple lead blockers in there, and it's a first down inside the 5-yard line.
Now, this is as nimble as we've seen Taylor Kelly since coming back from the injury. Todd Graham made no bones about the fact that he was going to be the starter even after Bercovici had performed so well. Easy to understand why with the multi-dimensions that he brings to the position. Here off bootleg action. Across the body and incomplete. 2 receivers in really the same location. Martinez 88 and Strong 21.
Yeah, Strong had broken his route off. He was headed to the corner of the end zone, but as Kelly continued to head towards the sidelines, he went back towards the goalpost, and that's why there was 2 Sun Devils in the same spot.
Arizona State had a 1st and goal at the 3, failed to score. Otherwise, we'd be tied at this point. DeAndre Lewis is in the backfield again. Play fake to him. Back of the end zone. Hands of Velcro. Touchdown. Jalen is some Strong.
It doesn't get better than that.
I mean, I know it's not Odell Beckham at a different level, but that was some one-handed grab. Zane Gonzalez for the extra point. And wasn't he holding his right shoulder just a couple of moments ago?
He was on that drive after the long pass. He was holding his right shoulder. Nothing wrong with Jalen Strong here. Number 21 for 6 for the Sun Devils. I just know there hasn't been this much on the line for this game in a long time.
How about ever?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
the
think you're
stakes,
right.
the stakes were never as high as they are now.
Arizona's never played in the last week of the season while a member of the Pac-12 conference or Pac-10 back in the day with a chance to win the conference.
Garrett's kick is returned by Johnson, and he's got it out to about the 30-yard line. How about those 2 catches in the last drive by Jalen Strong?
Yeah, he came in a year ago as a junior college transfer, and early they knew he was physically so gifted, but he wasn't asserting himself. I would say he asserted himself on that last drive. That was the drive of Jalen Strong, a 4-star prospect out of Pierce College. Caught 67 passes for Pierce for 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns in just 10 games. So you know the type of explosiveness and ability that he has.
This is the best starting point for Arizona on the day. And we're talking the 30-yard line. They've been beginning drives inside the 5 time and time again. Solomon. All kinds of time. Now decides to take it out of bounds and will at the 27-yard line.
And slow to get up, Tim, on the sidelines. Still on a knee.
Fiso, 58, chasing him down, and Jalen Strong is going to go into the locker room as well and be administered to.
Last week against Utah, Anu Solomon was unable to finish the game with this foot injury that he's been dealing with for the last couple of weeks. Jesse Scroggins, a transfer from USC, was the 6th best quarterback in the country, but had to go to junior college, now to Arizona, is the backup for Anu Solomon.
Arizona has 71 total yards in the game and 69 on the one play to Samaje Grant. Solomon's pass is caught. That's Caleb Jones off the curl action to the 39-yard line.
Caleb Jones, 60 catches on the year, over 800 yards. He's one of these guys, 6'3", 215 pounds, out of Austin, Texas, a transfer from the University of Texas. He had to sit out last year, but the coaches loved the way that he came every single day and prepared like he was playing. Let them know that he was going to be quite a star this season, which he has been.
3rd down, less than a yard. It's Wilson. That's a 1st down to the 48-yard line. Mokiolo makes the stop.
This offensive line so experienced. The left tackle, number 68, Mickey Bacchus, making his 50th start today. Fabian Zebele on the other side, also so experienced, but the glue of that offensive line is their center, Steven Garola, 6'2", 286 pounds, makes all the calls.
Inside the 25 to the 23. Latu with the stop, number 41. There's Tellis.
We've seen both teams now score a defensive touchdown. We've seen both teams now be the beneficiary of great starting field position in the opponent's territory. ASU was not able to convert. Remember, stopped on 4th down on that series inside the 5. We'll see how the Wildcats do with their good fortune.
2nd down and 3. Here comes the pressure. Nick Wilson burrows ahead. Looks to be about a yard shy of the 1st down. Salamo Fiso, the stop, number 58, in the middle of that defense for Arizona State.
It's so important when you're facing a team that loves to bring pressure that you get into 3rd down and short situations, because that allows you to continue to run the football if you want, and you have a dual way go as a play caller for the offense.
3rd and 1. Quick screen out to Samaje Grant. He can't get to the 20. Stop shy.
Lloyd Carrington made one heck of a tackle. The junior from Dallas, Texas, saved the first down. He's on the block, and there he is, and he gets a hold of him and never lets go. What an effort from the corner, Lloyd Carrington.
And then he got a little help from his friends. James Johnson, number 18, there to polish up. 4th and inches. And again, in this offense, they go shotgun. And there's the handoff to Wilson, and he pops it. Nick Wilson, touchdown. Boy, this freshman from Fresno has been unbelievable. When Jones Grigsby got hurt early in the season, they said, you know what, this kid's got some real talent. He's probably the closest thing that we've seen to Kadeem Carey.
That's some high praise, my friend.
Yes, it is.
What a game.
You're looking at Nick Wilson, who really knows how to get to the edge. And, you know, a lot of purists would say, gosh, you don't line up under center on 4th and inches. Well, when you've got plays like that, it doesn't matter so much, does it?
You got a kid that can make one guy miss in the backfield. Arizona State took themselves out of the play with a blitz. Then he found the edge, and it was over.
Scourin kicks it away. DeAndre Lewis back deep. And he'll let it go for the touchback.
It was just a small little adjustment. Watch as Nick Wilson jumps to the left side of the offense, and what that's going to do is force the safety to come across. Then what happens is Arizona State blitzes here, and then there's no one on the right side of the field. Nick Wilson's got to make one guy miss. He does so. That's Marcus Hardison in the backfield, number 1. And now it's over because there's no one left to contain the true freshman.
Arizona's got the lead on the basis of a 69-yard touchdown on 3rd down, a 21-yard touchdown on 4th down, and a defensive touchdown that came on a 3rd and 9 very early in the game. Opportunistic. Demario Richard is in the backfield behind Kelly, and he'll take it. Look at him go. Demario into Arizona territory.
Boy, and he's such a good young back, but it was the block of Christian Westerman, number 55, that really sold it, and it was 5 or 6 yards down the field. Westerman with an excellent block to spring the 17-year-old Richard.
27 yards on the carry, 1st down. Richard again on the cutback. Stopped by Tremaine Bondurant, 21, coming up from free safety.
I mean, that's just an excellent block. There he is, just taking him completely out of the play, and Richard has an easy cutback lane and picks up a big 1st down and gets the ball into Arizona territory.
Yeah.
What a block there. 6'4", 305, excellent offensive lineman, and he's got a great attitude and disposition. Perfect for an offensive guard.
It's been the strength of this team, according to Mike Norvell, their offensive coordinator, all year, their offensive front. Strong is in motion. Foster in the backfield. Kelly under duress and down at the 47. 3rd down and 14 facing Arizona State. DeAndre Lewis, the setback, trips, wide receiver set to the top of your screen. Strong at the very top. Kelly has to duck. The pressure was coming. Tevis, the bandit.
The former walk-on, local product, right in the middle of the field. He's going to come right next to the center, and Taylor Kelly has no chance. Went to Canyon del Oro High School right here about 5 miles from the campus of the University of Arizona. What a play from the safety.
What a high punt on 4th and 24. Fair catch called for, and it's bobbled and recovered by Arizona State. Neal lost it. It was so very high. I mean, it could have brought down icicles, that punt. And it's Mitchell Fraboni, the long snapper, that got on top of it. How about that? The punt was incredibly high.
And he was looking right back into the sun. You can tell by the shadows. I was on the field before the game. The sun is low. The punt returners and receivers were trying to catch passes with it in the sun. You can tell right there, that's exactly what he was looking up at.
How about your long snapper being the first to get down there?
Well, you know, you can't have anybody hit the long snapper,
that's right.
So that's the guy that
Gotta
can
be
release
down there.
first.
Yep.
You know, via the rules, a lot of those long snappers are always the first one down the field.
Foster in the backfield. Play fake to him. Slant over the middle for Strong, incomplete. Thrown high. You got to figure if you're Taylor Kelly, you're saying, I'm going to throw it up and let my guy go get it. Jonathan McNabb was with him.
You know, you can get a little greedy knowing that you've got such a great athlete. I'm sure Kelly thought that that was a catchable ball, but just out of the reach of his great wide receiver.
Somewhere Jack Tatum is saying, when did he get my stickum, that number 21?
That's right.
Where did he get that?
I even knew Jack Tatum. Nice job. Now I'm with you.
Demario Richard. Demario down to the 7. Boy, this kid is tough too, isn't he? True freshman, Palmdale, California. Turns 18 next week. I mean, he is really something special. And they glow about his ability to pick up and pass protection too.
Takes a great, strong lower body to do that. That's what he has. He's got a great football mind for a young kid, but now on third down, you got to think that this is Taylor Kelly and Jalen Strong's time. He's top of the screen.
Safety valve. Richard Demario goes again. Well, they got 50 yards of hidden yardage on the punt, and then the freshman took over from there.
And a blown coverage, and you got to give Taylor Kelly a lot of credit because he recognized it immediately, got the ball out to his true freshman for an easy touchdown. What a series there, picking up the touchdown after the muffed punt from Arizona.
How's that for momentum to close the half for the visitors? An amazing first half. All kinds of entertainment and special teams. Offense is scoring. The two defenses scored both touchdowns to begin our game. Let's get you to Los Angeles for the Dell Halftime Report. Here's Rob Stone. 3 things you need to know about our first half that could provide the Pac-12 South champion. Subi sacks lead to Scooby snacks and touchdowns. Arizona's got a quick cat and Samaji Grant on the slant, taking advantage of a defender jumping a route. And Jalen, boy, does he have Velcro hands. That was the difference for both teams. We had everything from blocked punts, we had touchdowns from defenses, and offenses taking advantage of other teams' risk-reward defenses.
This is what I love about the cat and mouse game of offense and defense, is that when you're an offense and you can catch the defense in a blitz, you're going to have such an advantage. And Arizona has been able to catch Arizona State in those blitzes a couple of different times for big plays and for touchdowns. One of them, Randall tried to jump up and bat the ball down. He wasn't able to do it. And now, we got a 21-21 ball game here with what looks to be with Stanford leading UCLA, at least at this point, Tim.
Indeed.
1/2 for the Pac-12 South title.
Tyrell Johnson will take a knee, and let's go down to Jenny Taft, who talked with both coaches. Jenny?
Coach Rodriguez was not happy with the way his team ended that half. He said, we are not executing our game plan. We need to be better on offense and defense. Right now, he said, we're all over the place. Coach Graham coming back, he was actually pretty pleased with what he'd seen defensively. He's liking the way those young guys are stepping up. Unfortunately, an injury update, Mokiola will not be returning to the game. He's their spur. Their center, Kelly, is also continuing to be evaluated.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. And remember, we touched on it earlier today, and even in the pregame, Jordan Simone, an outstanding safety who means a lot to their back end, also not available today. Nick Wilson on first down, pops it right away. Beyond the 35 to the 39-yard line. That's the first down. And let's get our Geico first half stats. Joel, take a look at it.
Well, I think the thing that's most surprising isn't even a number on here. It's the fact that Arizona averages over 80 plays per game, and they only ran 25 plays of offensive football in the first half. But the rush game at only 13 yards, Arizona State has done a heck of a job stopping the run.
Wide receiver screen incomplete for Devontae Neal. Little high, but should have been caught. 2nd and 10 coming up.
This Arizona State defense, you already mentioned it. Lyle Mokiola, the quarterback of the defense, number 28, the spur linebacker, out. He's not in the game. Antonio Longino, not in the game. Simone, not in the game.
Wilson forges ahead for about 3, maybe 4. Tashawn Smallwood, number 90, another freshman from Fresno, California, makes the stop. He's a big one out of Central High School in Fresno. They go tempo on the slant, and it's caught by Austin Hill. It's a first down.
And they went with tempo and got Arizona State in a busted coverage. Nobody covering the wide receiver in the slot, and an easy first down for Arizona.
15 yards the pickup, and it's first down 10. Caleb Jones, the angular sophomore, the bottom of your screen, and it's Wilson again, cutting it back up ahead for about 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Longino back in the game after leaving at the later stages of the second quarter.
And here was that play I was talking about, the busted coverage, nobody on Hill. This is a guy who was a Biletnikoff finalist 2 years ago. Last year, he tore up his knee before the year, missed the season. He's come back, had a very strong season this year for Arizona. But that's what happens when you leave wide receivers open.
That pass is caught by Hill again. We talked about the injuries. He's fought through them every year he's been here. That's 10 yards and another first down.
What a selfless player, too. He's a Biletnikoff guy, has over 80 catches a couple of years ago. He comes in this year, and he's really a role player as a receiver, only 38 grabs for 500 yards, but really works hard.
Little delay, but Marcus Hardison made the stop. I think everyone thought he was down, but his knee didn't go down, and then ultimately Smallwood had to corral him. Initially, it looked like Hardison had him wrapped up.
Hardison playing so well, and he was never down.
Hey, that's the Michael Dyer play against Oregon in the national championship, remember?
I do.
That's what that put the game away for Auburn against Oregon in that BCS title game. Wide open, Richards down to the 1. Demarius Randall saves the touchdown.
Another busted coverage, and Arizona's tempo right now is taking its toll on an inexperienced defense for Arizona State.
1st and goal, they go fast again. Quick as a cat. Touchdown. Wilson. I think when Jenny Taft told us Rich Rod was not happy with the way the first half ended, the guys got the memo about the way the second half should begin. David Richards made a big play, didn't he?
He absolutely did. This defense had a hard time getting set up, Tim. They found the big hole inside the 5. Wilson in for the touchdown. Arizona up by 7.
4 times Arizona has forged a touchdown lead. The first 3 times Arizona State managed to square the score. We shall see in the aftermath of that 75-yard 9-play drive culminated with the Nick Wilson touchdown, his 7th in the last 3 games. Skowron's boot headed for DeAndre Lewis deep, and again he'll take a knee. Kelly's pass on the curl is complete to Jalen Strong. It's ahead for a first down. Excuse me, Cameron Smith. Smith rather than Strong on the receiving end.
Cam Smith had over 100 yards against Washington State last week when Strong was unavailable with concussion symptoms. Very good young player from Coppell, Texas.
They're strong. Stopped at the 43-yard line, ahead for about 4, maybe 5. Incredible series for him when he looked as though he had, at the very least, injured his shoulder badly. Came back in 2 plays later to make a one-handed grab, then left the game, went to the locker room, came back out. You know he's sore after the half. 2nd and 4, and it's DJ Foster cutting it back up. Should have forged enough forward progress to net a first down at the 49-yard line.
As Westerman again that was pulling around the edge. I love the athleticism from Christian Westerman, number 55, the left guard. They use him in so many different ways. Great in pass protection. We've seen him out on the outside on the left side, that time pulling around the right and opening up the hole for a first down.
Kelly out to DJ Foster. He specializes in this area of the field, all the way down to the 35-yard line. This guy is something special in space.
And he almost didn't even get an opportunity because Taylor Kelly had to get away from a defender in the pocket, but making people miss. Or as Coach Wanstad would say in the studio, as a running back, you got to be your own blocker at times. And that's what DJ Foster was on that last play.
You think he was happy for LaShawn McCoy yesterday, Wanstad?
I know he was.
Yeah, you bet he was. Wide receiver screen to Cameron Smith. He lost the ball at the 34, 35-yard line. I think they're going to say, the officials are saying forward progress stopped at the 34.
I think he was even ruling that it was down, which is very important because down by contact would be reviewable.
Right.
Yep. Correction. They're ruling forward progress was stopped. Right. That is not reviewable.
Right.
So even if this is a definitive look as far as Cam Smith not being down, not reviewable, they ruled that that forward progress was stopped.
It was Scooby Wright that corralled him. Crowd is reacting as they're replaying it on their big screen. This pass is caught inside the 30 and down to the 28-yard line is Gamage, number 89.
I'll just reiterate, that is a non-reviewable play. Rich Rodriguez was talking to the official on the opposite sideline, and that's what he was told and why we didn't get a review.
3rd down and 4. Kelly's pass incomplete. Tremendous suffocating defense by Scooby Wright. Hammered Chambers, who was the intended receiver, and it's 4th and 4.
I thought Chambers drifted just a little bit. It was zone defense, and a quarterback always expects his wide receiver to stop and give him a stationary target. And at the last second, I thought Chambers just ever so slightly moved to his left, and Taylor Kelly was hoping that he would bank away and come back to the free space.
The Groza semifinalist, Zane Gonzalez from 45, and he hooks it. So after 3 different occasions falling behind by a score and always answering, this time Gonzalez, who's been really solid through his career, overcooked it.
Stanford and UCLA, the Cardinal threatening Ramon Wright. 2-yard scamper, 2nd touchdown of the day, capping a 7-play, 80-yard drive. 28-10, Stanford rolling. Condoleezza Rice elated. Tim and Joe.
How about this for elation? Nick Wilson pops it all the way for the touchdown. Skowron's extra point is good. I know Rich Rod doesn't want the public address system to be announcing the score from the Rose Bowl, but my guess is the better than 56,000 partisan have their iPads their social network working, and it is looking good in the Zona Zoo right now. 35-21 our score. Nick Wilson with a 72-yard scamper. Look at those numbers. Incredible. 16 carries, 149 today. DeAndre Lewis will bring it out 3 yards deep. Pummeled at the 17-yard line. And let's take a look at some outstanding blocking to free Wilson here.
Well, first of all, you have to understand that the inside zone is what they always want to run. And now they're going to come and they're going to hit Arizona State on the outside, the center pulls. That's a stretch zone play. Nick Wilson bounces it out. And how about the block from the slot receiver, Samaji Grant, number 10. We've seen with the touchdown earlier in the day. That's an excellent block and a selfless play from the wide receiver who's had a heck of a day.
Against a really good, strong safety, Demarius Randall. 35-21, Arizona State with the ball, and Mike Bercovici is in the game at quarterback. He hands to Richard. And again, incredible penetration, this time from Jeff Worthy, number 55. Now, you would think because Bercovici's got a great arm and they need to pass the ball a little bit more now, that may have something to do with it. If there's anything else at work, I'm sure Jenny Taft will do the best she can to find out for us. But a quarterback change made to Bercovici, who had a solid campaign when he came in for the injured Kelly earlier this year. Second down. Pass was intended for Cody Cole, tight end number 83.
Here's what he's fighting. As a quarterback, to come in cold off the bench, you've just been standing the whole game. It's not a cold day, but you're not in the rhythm of the game. Taylor Kelly now sitting there watching his backup playing this ball game. Finding the rhythm of the game is the most difficult part for a quarterback who enters in the second half.
Now remember, this guy's had significant snaps this year. They wouldn't have been in this position without his help. 3rd and 13. Flushed. And a great pass. That's the dart thrown to DJ Foster for a first down.
My friend, with what's happening in Pasadena, it's 15 minutes and 14 points separating Arizona from a Pac-12 South title.
In the committee era of college football, we just don't know. But let me throw this out to my partner. LSU won a national championship with 2 losses in 2007. They were number 7 when they played in the SEC championship. If this team goes on to win today at number 11 and then beats Oregon a second time, could they possibly crack the top 4?
Well,
any shot at all?
I think it would be very difficult. I really do. But they're going to have the tough task of beating Arizona State, who is a wonderful fourth quarter team. In fact, 7th in the country, averaging over 10 points per game in the fourth quarter.
Holding of Strong taking place by McKnight. The pump fake really had McKnight in a... Well, they're going to give it to Grandin rather than McKnight, but they were both
They
deep.
misidentified it.
Yep.
It was definitely Jonathan McKnight, number 6. There's the corner, and there you see in the corner of your screen, there's the holding call on McKnight. And it's better to give up 15 yards than it is give up 6 points, well, as a corner at that point.
Well, they have problems with those blue numerals on red jerseys, too.
That's all right.
Smith has got it. Cameron Smith, a first down inside the 30 of Arizona. And you can see the difference Bercovici has, the zip on his passes.
Yeah, look at the timing, too. A low snap, and yet he steps into this on rhythm, and he delivers just a strike. There you can see the power in his throwing motion through his lower half. Excellent throw.
Wide receiver screen to Cameron Smith. Maybe a yard, that's about it. What a circuitous route not taken by Bercovici. The fact that they've got as good a backup as this young man is pretty amazing.
Graduated, it's so in vogue for a guy that graduates who's still a backup to go and transfer somewhere else. Decided to stay at Arizona State. Still has another year of eligibility after this one. Will get his shot to start next season.
They go the opposite way with the bubble screen to Gamage.
And this is exactly what I was talking about, the rhythm of the game, and it took him a series, but now you can tell that Berkovici's mind and body is going at the same speed of the game around him, and this series has looked so much better for Arizona State.
From Pasadena, a field goal added. Hogan's had a huge afternoon. David Shaw's team may be doing in the Bruins yet again, meaning the winner of this game would represent the Pac-12 South if that score holds up. 3rd and 2. Play fake. Berkovici's pass is caught. Gamage, first down at the 12.
What a throw on the run. Gamage, all he had to do was turn around, and it was right in his lap. Timing was perfect from Berkovici. The throw was even better, right on target. Right when he turns around, it's right in his numbers. Excellent play.
Richard. DeMario. He gets away again. Did he get in? They're going to rule him down at the 2. Ippolito, 57, just enough of him to bring him to the ground. It's 1st and goal.
We were talking about that strength in his lower body and the great burst, and he shows it there just short of the goal line when his right knee hit the turf.
Now this kid is a load. 1st and goal. There it is. Touchdown, Cody Cole. Boy, you were spot on about the way this drive went for Berkovici. He clearly was in rhythm.
It's the rhythm that makes a quarterback, and he found it on that drive. Cody Cole, who's just been a scout teamer for the last couple of years as a redshirt and then a freshman. And Berkovici drives him the length of the field, and we've got a ball game for the Pac-12 South title, my friend.
Mike Berkovici could have easily been back in Los Angeles, transferring to USC. But here's a guy that said, you know what? I love Arizona State. I got a girlfriend that I love at Arizona State. I think I'm going to pitch and catch for the title at Arizona State. And Mike Berkovici feeling awfully good right now. 5 of 5 for 40 yards and a touchdown on that drive. Mike Norvell turning to him, and Todd Graham, his head coach, there with him, seeing some results. Tyrell Johnson is back deep. Off the kick from Garou. And it's a touchback again. Arizona State became a university on December 5th of 1958. That was the birth date of Todd Graham. And a lot of people upset from Arizona when they became a university. Adding to the fervor, Nick Wilson breaks free again. They cannot stop this guy. Perry with the saving tackle. He's going to get to 200 plus by the time the evening is done. That's a 24-yarder.
He got to 200 last week against Utah. He's got a very stout front seven, including over 115 yards in the 4th quarter of that ball game, putting that game away against the Utes. So he's a guy that is used to carrying the ball in big moments in the 4th quarter.
Wilson stopped behind the line of scrimmage this time by Latu.
What a play from Latu.
One of the twins. The Latus have made an impact at Arizona State many times over. Sophomore from Rancho Cucamonga. 2nd down, 14.
They've slowed down their pace, but they were so much better when they were playing with tempo. They haven't done anything in this slow style of offense that we're seeing in the last couple of series.
Solomon outside the tackle box throws it away while getting some pressure.
Tim, when they came out from halftime, they were going fast and playing like you would expect a Rich Rod offense to play. And in the last couple of series, it's almost like they've gone into a milk the clock mode. But there's way too much time on the clock. for you to milk the clock all the way to a victory, they need to pick up the tempo here offensively.
3rd and 14. Blitz coming from up the middle. And this pass really thrown quickly and incomplete, intended for Devontae Neal.
And you got to give this Arizona State defense a lot of credit. They've been covering very well in the back end in the last couple of series, forcing Anu Solomon to be perfect with his passes. This one well overthrown of the intended receiver. Devontae Neal, the transfer from Notre Dame.
James Johnson did a great job in coverage there. Number 18 for Arizona State. Kyle Middlebrooks again is back deep at his 15. The Riggleman punt low again and end over end, which means job well done. It'll settle at the 8-yard line, and a lot of real estate now for Bercovici and the Sun Devils to cover as the sun comes down over the Catalina Mountains. As here on 1st down, Arizona State trailing by a touchdown. Ahead for about a yard. Reggie Gilbert the tackle. 2nd down and 9 coming up. What a marvelous holiday weekend we've had, and a joy to be with this crew on Fox Sports all season long.
And now what a joy it is to watch this game unfold before us. A backup quarterback in, backup center in. Stephon McCray still in for the injured Nick Kelly. And ASU has found a rhythm offensively.
Bercovici's pass in tight, intercepted. Grandin at the 17. Bercovici missed the safety help.
He never saw Grandin, who played this perfectly. They were trying to throw the wheel route, and you can tell his eyes never moved from the outside. And Jordan Grandin comes up with the biggest play of his life.
This packed house can really feel it now. Westview High School, Avondale, Arizona. Grandin, a redshirt senior, one of 19 honored today. Sun Devils defense really has to get the job done now. Arizona with 1st down. Well, nice work on that play defensively by Hardison, number 1, against Solomon. He lost yardage on the play.
Hardison has been brilliant the last 5 weeks of this season. One of those players that they brought into the starting lineup after UCLA, and he's just been sensational, always in the backfield. Couple of interceptions, one against Notre Dame, the other last week against Washington State, and now he and his defense have to bail out his backup quarterback, Mike Bercovici.
2nd and 14. Pressure again. Solomon gets away. Bad wheel and all. His pass caught. Touchdown. Samaji Grant again. Samaji Grant caught a slant for 69 yards. This time he came back to the ball, which is exactly what his freshman quarterback needed. 8 minutes and 31 seconds separating Arizona from a date potentially in the Pac-12 championship. UCLA down 3 scores against Stanford late. Samaji Grant with his 2nd touchdown catch of the day. DeAndre Lewis is back deep for the Scourin' boot. And it would appear the winner of this game could be on its way to the Pac-12 title. in year 3. That's Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator. He's been dialing up some really outstanding plays for Rich Rod today. DJ Foster in the backfield. Berkovici remains in at quarterback. That pass is caught at the 34-yard line by Cameron Smith. This defense of Castile scored a touchdown earlier, Joel. Set up that last score with an interception.
And they've been playing outstanding football, especially against the run, but they have given up a couple of big plays and allowed Jalen Strong to get behind them a couple of times as far as their defensive secondary goes. That's what Arizona State's going to be looking for right now.
On 1st and 10, Foster dances and prances into Arizona territory to the 48.
Now you have to make that break work in your favor if you're Arizona State. The tempo is what's worked for Berkovici. Now he's thrown a couple of picks. One of them comes off the board. The other set up an Arizona score. But at this point in time with 7:30 to play, you just got to sit back there and rip it as a quarterback. It's amnesia time.
Oh, yeah.
For Mike Berkovici.
In traffic and down. Sacked a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage. Scooby Wright again. Had a little bit of help.
Jeff Worthy was in there helping him out. He transferred from Santa Ana College. But it was mostly Scooby with the pressure. Scooby Wright had a sack fumble in this game. And he sets up his defense with a huge 3rd down opportunity here.
7 sacks on the day for this Arizona defense. 3rd and 11. Checking down underneath. Nice idea to Lewis. He gets it to the 45. That gives you a 4th and 4.
And a really smart play from Berkovici, knowing he's in 4-down territory, so he didn't force the ball down the field, but he got what he could out of the play. DeAndre Lewis out of the backfield, and now it's a much more manageable 4th down situation. And at this point, under 7 minutes, down 2 scores, this one could be for the game, Tim.
Not taking a timeout. Wants to keep those in his pocket, Todd Graham. Blitz coming up the middle. Berkovici's pass is caught. It's Foster. It's a 1st down.
And that was a great pick play. They put their 2 best players into the short side of the field, DJ Foster and Jalen Strong. And Strong essentially just pushed the defense off of him for about 5 yards, and Foster found the soft spot behind him for the conversion. That's an excellent play from Mike Norvell, the offensive coordinator.
1st and 10. Berkovici's pass right over the middle and caught. That's Chambers. 1st down at the 10, maybe the 9. 1st and goal coming up.
They haven't had much success here running the ball inside the 10-yard line during the course of the game, but they have had success towards the corner of the end zones with tight ends and slot receivers.
DeAndre Lewis, the lone setback. Rolling right, Berkovici goes underneath, pass incomplete for Foster. Here's that 4th down conversion that kept Arizona State's chances alive.
Yeah, here's what I was talking about. Watch Jalen Strong, number 21, top of your screen, and he's essentially just clearing everything out. Berkovici waits and is patient, even if he's going to take a hit from Tremaine Bondurant, and delivers a strike for the conversion. That's just an excellent play.
2nd and goal from the 9. So far, I think he's handled the amnesia pretty well the last few passes.
Has.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. This series has been impressive.
2nd and goal. Foster's in the slot. Berkovici throwing back of the end zone. Nelson, touchdown. Demarie. And we've got a marker down. Looks like offsides, the preliminary indication. And they've got all 3 of their timeouts in their hip pocket.
And exactly what I was talking about. The inline tight end, Demarie Nelson, going to the corner of the end zone. That has hurt Arizona all day long. Now 2 touchdowns from Berkovici, 1 to Cody Cole, and the other to the senior from Stockton, California, Demarie Nelson.
A little bit of a high snap, but it was handled. And Nelson, former quarterback, makes the catch. All the precincts are now reporting. UCLA has gone down to Stanford yet again. So here's what's at stake for Rich Rodriguez and his counterpart, Todd Graham. Win and you're in Santa Clara next week, opposite Oregon. Tyrell Johnson is back deep. The case is not closed, but Bercovici living to fight another day. Down just one score with 5:02 to play. And again, all 3 timeouts remaining for Arizona State. Can they handle a steady diet of Nick Wilson is now the question. Antonio Longino, 32, makes the stop of Wilson, who's had an incredible day running the football. Clearly the catalyst of this Arizona offense.
Over 170 yards now, over 7 a carry, 3 touchdowns for Nick Wilson. And the mark of a championship team is a team that can run the ball when everyone knows they have to run the ball. That's what we're seeing right here in this series.
You're now watching the Pac-12 South Championship game. Wilson again trying to bounce outside. Hard to go wide against this defense. Great job again of stringing it out. Demarius Randall, number 3, redshirt senior, Mesa Community College by way of Pensacola. 3rd and 10 coming up.
And he's able to be there because Marcus Hardison, number 1, was again the first guy in the backfield, forcing Nick Wilson to go out and string that ball out to the right side where he didn't want to go.
You're right, though. You know, they haven't been playing the fast-paced tempo, and they haven't been the same when they haven't gone that route. 3rd and 10. Wilson again. Stopped at the 30. A conservative series for Arizona. They're going to give it right back. Christian Sam, number 2, making the tackle. So, yeah, maybe they don't know the outcome at the Rose Bowl, but that series certainly looked like a team that was trying to protect a lead in a championship game.
That's very surprising, especially with Arizona having 3 timeouts left. Arizona State.
Middlebrooks takes it on the bounce at his 25. He's got a lot of space. He got one big block, and he takes it beyond the 40 to the 43-yard line. Only team that Oregon's lost to this year is Arizona. Arizona has beaten them the last 2 times they've played. But right now, this Wildcats team has got to deal with the Sun Devils. Ballage and Foster in the backfield. 1st and 10 from their own 43. Lots of pressure coming up the middle of the pass. Incomplete for Cameron Smith. But a blitz was coming.
That was Tremaine Bondurant, and he's coming off the edge, number 21, totally unblocked, because Kalen Ballage, the true freshman, had to go inside. It was an all-out blitz, and there was a middle linebacker there as well. Bercovici knew he had to get rid of the ball quickly. I would continue to pressure if I was Arizona. That's how they've had success today defensively.
Ballage checks out. Richard back in. 2nd and 10. Sacked by Scooby Wright, and Scooby does it again.
In the biggest moments of a game and a season, you need your best players to show up with their biggest moments. Scooby Wright, his 3rd sack of the game.
Well, you know, a nice job of him, too, to make certain not to get any of that face mask. He was up high, but he made absolutely certain, once momentum ended, not to let that arm go up at all on that face mask. Haven't heard Jalen Strong's name much in the 2nd half, have we? DeAndre Lewis has checked into the game. Bercovici's pass is incomplete, and the flag does come down right in front of Rich Rodriguez. Tremaine Bondurant is going to be guilty
Bondurant's called, number 21. He's on the 45-yard line. There he is. He definitely puts his hands on the intended receiver. I don't know how you don't call that penalty if you're the official.
Yeah, you got to call that. 1st and 10. Berkovici's pass underneath to Foster, ahead for 8 yards, maybe 9. 2nd and 1 coming up.
And clock still not a factor with 2 timeouts. The clock stopping after a 1st down. It's offense as usual for Arizona State. For Arizona, the pressure is what has been so successful. Look for them to dial it up here.
Jalen Strong at the bottom of your screen. Foster in motion. They go to Richard. He delivers the blow, doesn't he? Gets the 1st down. Gets those shoulders squared right into Jonathan McKnight. Boy, I love the way that young man runs. Turns 18 December the 2nd. First and 10 from the 38 of Arizona. And again, still plenty of time. 2 timeouts to work with for the Sun Devils. Nothing doing this time for Cameron Smith. Parks right in his tracks. Second down and 12 coming up.
I don't think it's time for a timeout just yet. You want to save those last 2 for under 30 seconds. So that's why Arizona State is letting it roll.
Why give Arizona's offense time provided you score? Berkovici's pass tipped and almost intercepted. Intended for Gary Chambers. Ippolito almost picked that one off, number 57.
And he's from Arizona, the local product, just over his fingertips. The game of inches could have ended it right there.
3rd and 12. He looks pretty confident, doesn't he?
Jalen Strong is going to be at the bottom of your screen.
What he wouldn't give for a little man coverage here. Berkovici's pass for Strong, incomplete. Well defended by McKnight. It's rare he doesn't bring one of those in. But I think McKnight got his arm in there.
What coverage from McKnight. In this day and age, when anything gets called for pass interferences, he keeps up with them step for step and bats it away.
Pac-12 South Championship on the line. A shot at Oregon. Potential move into the, dare we say, Final Four if you could win out. Ball game. Pac-12 South Championship on the line on this play. Incomplete. They took one more shot at Jalen Strong, but they only brought 3, had 8 back in coverage, and really not a lot there for Berkovici. It's a nice shot of Castile thanking his defenders.
They're trying to go to Jalen Strong, and why wouldn't they? Berkovici didn't look any other direction, but the coverage was fantastic.
And there is the Territorial Cup. It's a replica. The real one sits in the library at Arizona State. It's priceless, so they don't want it to be harmed. But they'll bring it to the library at Arizona at the end of this game. I'm going to remind you, as it continues to get chippy. That
Boy, if you're Arizona, why are you even talking
No,
at this point?
You shouldn't be.
I mean, just get back in the huddle and take the victory.
It's now 3rd down and 22. And obviously, they want to use as much of this clock as possible to close it out with a knee on the ground.
But this snap ends it.
This is a program that's never been to a Rose Bowl. It's number 11, but with a bullet. Rich and his family can celebrate. A year in coaching exile, and he's a proven winner everywhere he's been. Short of Michigan, and he didn't get a chance to see that final chapter. That was taken from him. There's Greg Byrne, the athletic director. He has the Territorial Cup. They're rushing the field, and let's go down to Jenny Taft with Rich Rodriguez.
Coach, I'm not sure if I'm the first one to tell you this, but you guys are heading to the Pac-12 championship. What does that say about this team?
I'm so proud of our team, our seniors, our fans. It's been a long time, but the Wildcat Nation is happy tonight.
This is your 3rd year with the program. The Territorial Cup is coming back to Tucson. What has this program done for you over the past couple years?
Well, I'm just really proud of everybody's associated program. That's a really good football team we won. And listen to these fans. They're really enjoying it, so I'm tickled to death to be part of Arizona football.
Defensively, you had some huge plays, particularly from Scooby Wright. You forced ASU to have 2 quarterbacks in the game. What can you say about the way you performed defensively?
Well, our defense kept hanging in there. I think Scooby Wright's the best defensive player and one of the best in the country.
All right, well, you're heading to the championship. What's next from Arizona?
Well, we're going to enjoy this for about 24 hours, maybe 30 hours, but then we got to get ready for a great Oregon team.
Congratulations. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
For Joel Klatt and our entire Fox Sports crew, this is Tim Brando. Our final score from Tucson, Arizona 42, Arizona State 35.